Hello, everybody. It's me, Papa Woody here. Sorry, my hands are dusty from this desk. Quick little update for the Coffee Writers. This is a Coffee Writers episode, first episode of Coffee Writers. I'm just letting you guys know that I have currently been cycling for the past 12 years, except for the last few years recently that just passed. 4 years, I think, that I haven't really ridden, but here and there I would go ride my bike every once in a while. I will be posting previous rides and kind of like a throwback Thursday type thing where we just look back at what I did before, and current rides with my friends, the Coffee Riders. So, Coffee Riders, what's up? I created this group along with my friends, and we've been successful. We've been losing weight. We've been inspired. We've been motivated. We've been consistent. Consistency is the most important part. And the group has been growing. We currently ride every weekend and Tuesdays and Thursdays. We average about 20 miles on each ride. We're not very fast riders, but that's not the point. We're just riding to grow and be healthy. This has got nothing to do with like special goals or anything. It's just that the real goal here is while we're getting older, things are getting harder. So physical activity is starting to become more of an extra task for us. So this will provide us a little bit more exercise opportunities without injuring ourselves from weightlifting and stuff like that. It's just a small casual ride. From point A to point B, and it's typically at coffee shops. That's why we're called Coffee Riders. The Coffee Rider name was inspired by my bike, the Jamis Allegro Comp 2014. It's a small little hybrid bike, and I absolutely love it. It's a very comfortable bike, and I added some upgrades to it. A new saddle. I even put new grips for it, which the ergonomic grips. I'll post. You'll actually see it in one of these corners over here, or maybe just I'll probably just have it pop up somewhere. And with ergonomic grips, with size 38 millimeter gravel tires from Terravale Washburns. Amazing tires. It's got a center slick with some slight knobs on the edges. Beautiful tire, and it has also been tested through specific terrains like tarmac or asphalt, sand, gravel, rocks, mud, and through the rain. Amazing tire. I'd probably recommend those tires for anybody that likes commuting, using the tires specifically for like a 60-40 ride. 60% will be on the road, flat road, and then 40% on like rough terrain. When the opportunity meets itself in that area, you're not gonna have any problems at all. That thing is amazing. It's a nice fast tire. I've actually ridden, in fact, just last week on Monday, on New Year's Day, I went to go ride to drop off a gift to somebody, and I accidentally ran over a glass bottle, beer bottle. Well, it was the night before was New Year's Eve, and I guess people were partying and the glass was everywhere. And then I literally ran over it. It wasn't just a flat glass. I'm talking about like the bottom of the glass was sticking up like this, and the shards were up there. And then I ran over it by accident because I didn't see it, because it looked like leaves. Sorry. That's how I didn't realize that I was running over glass, because it looked like brown leaves. Because some beer bottles, they're colored brown or copper colored, and I didn't notice it until it was too late. So anyway, with that, we've been consistent. We've been riding with that bike, with the Jamis. It's really comfortable, so I've been using that. But I retired that and got a new bike, which is a Trek Dual Sport 8.3. I think it's also a 2014 or a 2017. I'm not sure. And that's going to be my permanent everyday commuter bike. It has a front suspension. I'm not going to change the suspension on that. I am, however, changing the tires on that. Currently, it's a 700C 38, which is my Washburns that I transferred from my Jameis because I retired my Jameis. Now it's on the Trek, but I still think that it's too narrow of a tire for what I need it for. I want thicker, wider tires on this bike so that I can be more comfortable. I can catch more road, and it will have the same exact tire probably. It's probably just going to be a 45 millimeter. So I'm going to be running 700Cs by 45 or 50C tires on this on this specific bike. The reason being is because I want it to be the most comfortable bike for commuting, and also it can be the lightest one while everything is stacked on top of it, because that's going to be the one I use with the baskets and my pannier bags and my mounts in the front handlebars on my cockpit, my cell phone mounts, anything. I'm going to be stacking everything on that bike. I'm going to have snacks, tools, baskets on the sides. In fact, thanks to my friend Alex, that's in Coffee Writers. He's one of the originals for the Coffee Writers group. We've been consistent. He's one of the reasons why we've been really consistent, is because he provides the location for us to meet, and we ride out. And he's also a cycling enthusiast as well. In fact, he's probably more enthusiastic about it than I am, because he's always wanted to ride for so long, and he's never had the opportunity to, because he doesn't have any friends that can ride with him. In fact, 7 years ago, about 8 years ago, Alex and I were at the gym at Neutral Grounds where I currently work at. I was the coach. I'm still the coach there. But during that time, he was new, and he brought up something to me because I think he knew that I was riding my FUJI, which is my favorite road bike at the time. I've been riding that guy since 2011, and more details on the FUJI, by the way. But right now, it's about how all this got started. So when he asked me, he told me that he and his wife Nika. Hi, Nika. Thanks for everything. Yeah. So he was training with me, and he knew that I guess one day I mentioned something about bikes, and he brought it up, and he said, "Oh yeah, Coach, do you want to start riding with us?" And then right when I agreed with him, because I used to ride every morning on Saturdays before I went to Thailand, because I had to drop some weight and get ready for Thailand, for my Thailand trip, for Muay Thai. He brought up that he wanted to go, but when he finally asked me to go, what ended up happening was, he had to stay home, and we haven't seen him for several years. And then now his son is now one of my students in Neutral Grounds, and that's one of the reasons why he had to stop for a little while. So with that, it never happened until I was looking for somebody to ride with again, and then it just so happens while I was asking all the students and their parents if they started riding, then I asked him. He just happens to be sitting there when I was asking everybody else. And I remembered he asked me 8 years ago to go riding. So it was a perfect and the most appropriate time to ask him. And the first 30 seconds when I mentioned it to everybody else, and then all of a sudden I asked him, he didn't even think twice. He said, "Yeah, I can do that." And he didn't have the right bike at the time. So now at this point, when I was trying to get a group going, I haven't really thought of taking my Fuji out because it was in storage for so long. I didn't even feel like riding. In fact, it was right here outside. It was just sitting there. The bike was just sitting out there, and it was getting rained on. Well, actually, no, it's not getting rained on, but it's still exposed to the climates out there. We have a canopy, so it's not getting rained on or anything. But the bike was still outside of the house, and weather was kind of beating on it, and I didn't really think of taking that bike out. So I was like, nah, let's just keep that bike out here for a while. And then I decided, you know what, I'll just go get another bike. So I got the bike, which is the Jameis Allegro Comp 2014. Still with it's I think there were size 25 millimeter tires at the time. And then while I was looking for that, I was like riding this bike. And then I got into riding this thing, and then I realized, you know what? I want to look up some more bike stuff. So then one thing led to another, and it turns out I've never heard of gravel riding before, or gravel bikes. I've been into road bikes, road cycling for 12 years. Never heard of gravel biking. So I got into that, and I did my research on that. It's just basically cyclocrossing. Remember that back in the day, cyclocross? It's basically the same thing. It's SUV. It's like a motocross, but with bikes. But it's not a mountain bike. So basically the gravel biking is the SUV of cycling. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You can ride on anything on this. And then it's not the best on one thing, but it's the best to go all the way around. Like you can go on road, you can go on dirt, you can go on gravel, you can go on mud, all in one bike. And I was like, oh man, this is getting cool. So I bought myself another one, which is a KHS Elite 350, beautiful red mountain bike. And after riding that for a little while, because I was thinking maybe I could just change the tires or whatever, which I did. I changed it to gravel tires, but the frame was way too heavy for me, and I said, forget it. I'm not gonna ride this thing because it's too heavy. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I'll just put this bike aside. I'll just probably use this for cruising. Like go to the grocery stores with this bike. So I left it to the side, and then I decided, you know what? I might as well just take out my Fuji. Got my Fuji out. Started riding, and remember at this point I don't feel like riding fast anymore. I just wanted to just cruise. I just wanted to be consistent is the key here. And then when I finally decided to get the Fuji out, I cleaned that baby out. I washed it. I greased everything, and it worked fine. And in fact, oh man, it's in the garage. I'll show you guys the clip on the tires that I've had. Remember, when I've been riding this Fuji for 12 years, except for the last 4 years, it's just on and off, and I left it out in the sun and in all kinds of weather. The tires that I've had, this bike has never been it's never been maintained. It's never been re-greased. I've never done anything to it. All I did was just clean it and ride it. Except for the chain, of course. I would put lube on the chain, but other than that, I didn't do anything to it. And the tires have been the original tires, not stock, but I changed it. The first 3 months that I've had the bike, I bought new tires for it. It's a size 23 millimeter tires. That's the skinniest that I got because I thought, speed was everything. And it was the most uncomfortable bike ever. But that bike saved my life. That thing is amazing. It saved my life meaning like, I got into to cycling to help me with my health, and it saved my life. Anyway, more on that later. So this bike, I resurrected it, and I still had the same exact tires for 12 years straight. Same exact inner tubes. Nothing was changed. All I did was just pump tires and air into it. You wouldn't believe that the tires that I have had for 12 years was still able to take me 30 miles in every ride with this bike. Yeah, amazing tires, amazing bike. Uncomfortable, but amazing. It's a great bike. So anyway, with that said, I decided, no, I don't want to keep riding this bike. It's uncomfortable or whatever. And so when I went with another friend, first one ride with him, it took me one ride with this guy, and then he goes, "Oh, guess what? I have another bike." And oh yeah, shout outs to Eric because he's the one that I was riding with. I knew he was riding, but we finally got to ride for the first time early September or October. One ride, that's all it took. And then he offers me his bike, his old previous bike, which is a Specialized Roubaix 2012, which is the rival of my Fuji Roubaix 1.0. Okay, 2010. So I had the Fuji Roubaix 1.0 2010, and then he offers me this amazing Specialized Roubaix. I don't know what model it is actually. I just know it's a Roubaix, but it's a 2012, so it's a year younger than mine. This whole time that I could have gotten a brand new bike, and the reason why I kept the Fuji, it was so uncomfortable. The reason why I kept the Fuji was because I just thought that that was normal. Everybody kept complaining about discomfort from riding road bikes. Nah, not like the way I felt versus this bike. Ooh, like a world of difference, you guys. You guys wouldn't know the difference between my aluminum Fuji versus the carbon Specialized, which I told myself for so many years that I will never get a carbon bike. I'll get carbon stuff like carbon forks or carbon wheels, but never a carbon frame bike of anything. So when he offered it to me, I don't know what it was, but he offered it to me. Within a few seconds, I didn't even look at the bike. I just said, "Sure, I'll buy it from you." I don't know what it was. Then all of a sudden, he goes, "Yeah, this is a size 54. My Fuji is a size 56." And the comfort level, meaning like the ride size is perfect for me for my 56, but for some reason something was telling me to go smaller with a size 54. I'm 6 feet tall and over 200 pounds, and that Specialized bike is just amazing. It feels like I'm riding on a cloud, and it's so fast. The shifters are exactly the same as mine. It's by feel, no numbers. It's a SRAM. I don't know what these ones are though on the Specialized. Could be an Allegro or something. I don't know. I'll give you guys the description below. But that's the story with my transition from the aluminum road bike to the carbon Specialized road bike. After that, I've been consistent with riding this bike. In fact, I probably could have ridden longer with the Specialized Roubaix carbon fiber bike, because I rode like crazy with my aluminum Fuji. I rode it everywhere. I've taken it to events, bike ride events, the Filipino CICAD bike events. I went twice on that, and I went to other bike events as well. Been to the Irvine bike trails. I did everything with that Fuji. And then when I look back, I'm thinking to myself, man, I could have saved myself some comfort if I got a carbon bike. It doesn't have to be a Specialized. It could have been like another carbon bike somewhere, and it would have made an easier ride for me. But the reason why I stayed with this bike is because it's the Fuji was because I fell in love with it and it saved my life, and that's the reason why I stuck with it and I stayed loyal. To this day, I'm still loyal to that bike. So that bike is amazing. Oh, and by the way, I'm sending it to the Philippines for my cousin. But I stayed loyal to that Fuji bike. That thing is amazing. Regardless, performance-wise, that thing can take you everywhere. It'll never fall apart on you because it never fell apart on me. I've never had to maintain the chain or anything. It's been like that for 12 years, you guys. Never adjusted a thing. That thing stayed true to itself. That's how good this Fuji is. Anyway, now that I've been consistent with my friends, I got back into cycling again. I'm loving this new Specialized Roubaix. Now the gravel bike. I fell in love with the gravel bike scene. Now I have a new build, which I'm gonna get started soon, and that's gonna be for the next episode, and I'll be explaining some more on that. So I'll give you guys the little bit of the. I just gave you guys a little bit of the details of how it got started, how Coffee Riders got started, and our group is growing slowly. I have groups here and there on certain days because some can't make it because of church and work on specific days, and then and the people that I ride with are parents, so they have to watch their kids as well. So I ride with anybody and whoever is available. Okay, so I don't want to ride by myself anymore. I mean, I still can and I still do, but I'd prefer to ride with somebody. That's why Coffee Riders was made. Okay, so that's the history of Coffee Riders. So more on that in the near future. I'm gonna be consistent with this, like I am consistent with my cycling within the last 6 months. Oh, and here's the kicker too, guys. I've always been boxing and doing Muay Thai, but then my back has been hurting, so I can't run, I can't jump rope. So I got started on this bike. Well, it doesn't matter which bike, actually. It's just, I got started on cycling again. And let me tell you, I lost extra 30 pounds because I was riding with I was riding consistently and as hard as I could. And that like I'm telling you, man, cycling really saves your life. And I love martial arts so much that I wanted to go back into it, which I couldn't because I had a hard time. Cycling really helps out. My back couldn't handle running. My back could not handle jump roping. Sometimes when I kick, my back would twist, and I couldn't do that. So I got back into cycling, and now I can start kicking again, which is really nice. So low impact cycling is the way to go when it comes to your cardio. Okay, so I'm going to end it here for now, and I'm going to continue for the next episode. And until then, ride safe, everybody. Coffee Riders is now on the trails. All right, guys. See you soon. Oh, please like, share, and subscribe.